Welcome back, my amazing students. So on this lecture, we are going to take it another step. So if you have not constructed this button here, do it. I'm just joking. I know that you have, and we already constructed this button. But before we make this work, we needed to do some stuff. So we already did it, and we are going to do the next step. Let's make this work now that we can play a little bit more with it. We have some data that we can use. So the reason why we needed to create a product, and you're going to see in a minute why we needed to do that. It's because we needed a product ID, but you're going to see how it works behind the scenes. So I'm going to go to the, let's just take this out of here. Whatever we don't need, let's just, we gotta, and let's go to cart.php, wherever that is. And let's see, on the cart function here, let's actually look for that. Let's see. What we're gonna do now is create a checkout session. Now, a checkout session is where you're gonna include some data, so that way we can, let me show you. Here, we're going to create a checkout session that is going to have the prices, the product title, all that stuff. It's going to have a lot of information that Stripe is actually going to use to process the payment, or to redirect them to the Stripe API where Stripe can actually take care of the payment. Okay, so we need that to create that session. That's how they call it in their documentation. You can look at it. Okay, just look for session, checkout session. So let's go, and right here in the cart is where I want to construct this. I want to actually do it before, let's see, right here, after, inside the loop of, inside the while loop, okay? Actually outside the while loop, outside, right? This is the while loop right here. So you can make a comment, while loop. Okay. All right. So we are going to access the Stripe API. Again, we're going to save the object into this variable. It's going to be Stripe. You see the forward slashes there? That's for the namespaces. And the Stripe client again. Remember, it's in the M variable. We need to pass in the secret key. Okay. There we go. Now that we have that object, we can start playing around. So Stripe, this is called checkout sessions. There we go. And create is the method. And here we're going to pass in a couple different things. Okay. We're going to pass in the success URL. Guys, this is in the documentation. You can copy and paste it here if you want. I just don't like copy and pasting stuff. I like to show you from scratch. So this is where your checkout, let's just copy this here. We're going to create a thank you page later on, but I'm just going to put whatever there. The cancel URL, so just in case your customer cancels, I'm just going to put that the same there. The payment methods, payment, I'm not making this up. Remember that they are expecting these values, okay? This is an array of methods. I'm just going to put card and Alipay if they have that. I think they have other payment methods that you can use. I'm just going to use those two. The mode of this is going to be a payment. And here is going to have another field here, another key that they called line items. Line items is an array of the items that you are going to have. Okay. And those line items are going to have basically products. These are your products here. Okay. And the product is going to have a price and the quantity. Okay. So whatever price is that, and this is an array as well. So actually this is 2 arrays in here. Quantity 2 and price 2 and quantity 2. All right, so we are going to have actually, this is an array of arrays actually. So I think it's like this. But anyway, yeah, this is another array here. This is another array that you need to have. So what we want is we want to have many different items, okay, as many as we want, right? We want to have another one and another one, okay? So if we use this data the way it is right now, it's just going to create one item. We want a dynamic value here, okay? So we need to construct this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to construct some type of array that I can insert data to and then append it to that. Okay, so up here, let me see how far I can go. Let me see. I can't go all the way up there. It has to be in the cart page, right? So let's do it before this delimiter right here. Let's just call this line items, okay? And it's going to be an array that we need to construct where it's going to have a price, and because we have this data from the database, remember, we have Stripe product. That's what we need, guys. The ID of the price object. Remember, that's going to be in our database, okay? When we create a product. And with this information, Stripe is going to pull other information from our product. Awesome, right? So that's the first thing we need, and this needs to be, let me see here. Okay, that's that information, and then we have the quantity. And that's going to be the value. Remember, that's the dynamic value, the dynamic we got here. That's the quantity. Okay. All right. Let's actually this needs to be like this, so that way we can add it to this. And why is this giving me this? Array is only updated but never queried. We can create that array up here if we wanted to, empty, and give it a null value. Okay. So, and then here assign some data to it. That's okay if you want to do that. Okay. And let's go down here where we have these line items, and then that's where we are going to plug this in here. Like that. Okay, so that should work. One thing, let's go back to the checkout, because this is where we're going to get our session ID. So this here, this checkout sessions functionality is going to give me a session from Stripe. I'm going to hold this here, and let's go to checkout, and we're going to use it right here to redirect us. Okay, but the way we can get that information there right now, the way we have it, is by putting this in a session. So I'm going to just put this in a session. Okay, and it's going to be checkout session ID, and that's not what I want. I want the ID from here. There we go. And now we just detect this guy here on the checkout, and that should work. Okay, very simple, right? So now if we come back here, this session ID should be that. Now we're gonna say, well, we're gonna write our PHP coding here inside JavaScript. We're gonna do the shortcut for echo, and we're gonna say if it's set, we can use a ternary here, this session checkout. Okay, I want you guys, well, I want you to give me that value, so I just paste that in there again. Else, you just put null in here. Okay. What is this giving me? This is only, it's okay. I don't follow always what my IDE recommends. Let's come back here. If we add this, it's not working. I was afraid something's going on here. Let's see. Let's fix our code here. You probably already saw the problem. ESET, it's bad. And I wonder why this is like this here. Session ID, what is this? Still messed up here, so I'm not seeing my problem, but I will find it. I had to pause the video for this silly mistake right here. Alrighty. Okay. So that should work now, right? Let's refresh. Let's add this to cart. And we have another problem here. So let's come back here. Let's see. Let's look at the console here. And let's just see. Internal error in checkout. And let me comment this out and see if that's causing this problem. Let me take this code out of here. Let's refresh it. And we can see that that's not what's causing this problem here. There's something going on in checkout that's causing this problem. So I'm gonna comment this out. I'm gonna try to see here. I'm gonna pause the video and come back to it, guys. Actually, I just came back to it. I didn't find the error yet, but I'm gonna show you how to fix something like this. And I'm glad that this happened to me, and I'm not going to edit this video because I wanted you to see that this thing is not always work. You're gonna make a lot of mistakes, but the good thing is that you can fix it. We're in this together, guys. Get message. All right, so I'm gonna put this in a try catch because something is going on and I want to be able to see that error. So it says receive unknown parameter payment methods. That's what it is. You see why it's so important to put this into a try catch? Always make sure that whatever you put in there, you know, it's in a try catch. I'm gonna put payment method. Let's see. Did you mean payment method types? Oh, Jesus. Well, at least that helps me out. And now if I refresh, it says that line items has an empty string. We assume on set parameter. Okay. So what's going on here is that we're not getting anything. We're not getting anything in line items. And let's see why that is. So here, okay, that's what it's saying. But what I have a feeling that if I take this off here, and let's go back here, and if I add it again, line item 0. So I'm going to put a couple checks here because we don't want this to happen to us. Yeah, we have this in the strike catch, but let's just make sure that the line items array is not empty, okay? Because if it is, then we're gonna have that issue. Okay, let's just make sure that it's not empty because it might not be set by the time it gets to this point here. So let's just refresh. Let's do it again there. All right. So let's also take off the line items that I got up here. Okay. Make sure that that's not getting into, there we go. Amount must add up to at least 50 cents. Okay. Right now, the reason why this is giving me this error now is because in a database, this is actually 15 cents instead of 15. So, we need to add more products. I'm just going to delete that product. Let's go to, we are close, guys. We are very close. I'm going to delete this too. Well, I think this one is fine. Let's go and add this one. And yeah, we got no errors on this one. And if I click buy now, let's inspect it, why it's not working. So let's just go here. You may test your, all right, so it's not working here. Let's go check our JavaScript. In checkout. Oh, it's not working because we have it commented out, of course. Look at that. Look at that, guys. You guys don't tell me anything. I don't understand that. Buy now, and voila. It's finally working. Look at that. Okay, we got all the information and we can test their payments here. So let's go ahead and test the payment to see if it works right away instead of wasting time, right? Let's check our database. All right, here. And let's check our orders. I'm gonna empty all these orders that I got here. Oh, wow. This could crash the browser. No row selected. Can you believe it? I just want to delete all this data here. Can't believe it. They are. It's not selecting all the data. There we go. Let's check it right there. Let's just refresh it. Now we have no orders here, and make sure that your reports is actually empty as well. All right, we got a couple of reports there. I don't know what's going on with me today. I need my coffee. Anyway, all right, so we got our tables is empty. So let's check this out. Let's see how it works. Come back here. We got that in checkout by now, and let's just say Edwin at edwinds.com. Fake credit card 4242, 4 sets of 42s and 42s, 42, 42, 42, and 42. 0923, some date in the future, and whatever 3 digits. Whatever name you want. I'm just going to put Edwin Diaz. And whatever zip code you want. And pay. It says processing. It's supposed to take us to checkout. And it took us back to checkout. Don't worry, we're going to fix this because we need to put this in a thank you page. Let's go and check our database for this. Browse. We have no reports. I don't think we're doing that yet. Orders. Let's see what we got. We got no orders yet. Okay, we're not doing any of those things. But what we can check is, and I totally forgot that we're not doing that. What we can check is the Stripe API. Okay, so we can see the watch here. We created that before, but let's look at the payments. And you can see that right here, right now, it created the payment of $455. Edwin Diaz right there. Okay. So I totally forgot that we haven't not even included that functionality yet. And that's the webhook. Okay. And that's going to be a little lengthy because it's going to have a lot of teaching for the CLI. Okay. A lot of class for the CLI that you need to learn a little bit about. All right. So a couple lectures about that and we should be ready. I'll see you in the next lecture.